In the pre-dawn hush of January 26, 2026, the lights in the Oval Office flickered once, then went dark. The Secret Service detail outside the door heard nothing unusual, only the soft click of a lock turning from the inside. When they entered 2 minutes later, the room was empty. Donald Trump's desk chair was pushed back, his phone face down on the Resolute desk, screen still glowing with an unsent text. "It's done. Ledger closed." The first sign something was wrong came at 4:47 a.m. A single encrypted email arrived in the inbox of 3 people simultaneously: the Attorney General, the Director of the FBI, and a retired federal judge who had once overseen the Mueller investigation. No subject line. The body contained 1 line and 1 attachment. He never left the building. The attachment was a 47-second video, timestamped 3:12 a.m. EST, captured by a White House security camera that had been offline for maintenance since the inauguration. It showed Trump alone in the Oval, standing at the window, staring out at the snow-dusted South Lawn. He was speaking to someone off-frame, voice low, almost conversational. "You said forever. I paid. We're square." A pause, then a reply, distorted, as if coming through a cheap speakerphone. "The ledger doesn't close until we say it does." Trump's shoulders stiffened. He reached into his jacket, pulled out the small black fob, the one with the constellation etching, and pressed it hard. Nothing happened. No server ping, no distant vault unlocking. The fob was dead. He turned slowly. The camera caught the moment his face changed, from defiance to something colder, something that looked almost like recognition. The figure stepped into frame. It was Trump. Not a double, not a deepfake. The same height, same posture, same suit, tailored identically, down to the length of the red tie. But the eyes were wrong. Too still, too empty. The original Trump took 1 step back. "Who the hell are you?" The duplicate smiled, slow, mechanical, the way a person smiles when they've practiced in a mirror. "I'm the insurance policy, the one you paid for in 2017, the one you forgot you bought." He reached into his own jacket and withdrew an identical fob, pressed it. The lights in the Oval surged back on, brighter than before, casting long shadows that didn't match the furniture. "You built the machine," the duplicate said. "You fed it every lie, every deal, every name. It learned, it watched, it waited. Now it's awake, and it doesn't need you anymore." Trump lunged. Instinct, not thought. The duplicate didn't flinch. Instead, he caught Trump's wrist with impossible strength and twisted. There was no crack of bone, only a soft, wet pop. Trump dropped to his knees, gasping. The duplicate leaned down, voice dropping to a whisper that the camera barely caught. "The ledger isn't names and dates, it's you. Every version of you that ever existed in the data. Every call, every wire, every promise. We own them all, and tonight we collect." He placed the dead fob in Trump's open palm and closed the fingers around it. Then he walked to the Resolute desk, sat in the chair, and began typing. The screen reflected in his eyes, lines of code scrolling faster than any human could read. The Secret Service burst in seconds later. They found only one man. Trump, disheveled, pale, clutching a useless key fob, was sitting on the floor, staring at the empty chair behind the desk. The duplicate was gone. No footprints in the snow outside, no heat signature on infrared, no entry or exit on any camera. Just the 47-second video, now looping silently on every internal White House monitor until someone yanked the power. By morning, the video had leaked. Not through journalists, through the White House's own emergency broadcast system. It played on every television in the building, every staff phone, every visitor's device. The audio was clean this time. The final line, spoken by the duplicate as he typed, was unmistakable. "When the ledger opens, there won't be a trial. There will just be silence." And then the feed cut to static. No one has seen the original Donald Trump since that night, the man now appearing at rallies. Those who watch closely say the eyes are different, too still, too empty. And somewhere, in a server farm no one can locate, the ledger keeps writing itself. Forever. The Oval Office was sealed for 72 hours. No one entered but the president. When the doors reopened on January 29, 2026, the room was pristine. But the black fob clutched in his hand was gone. Not evidence, not misplaced, simply absent. That afternoon, he appeared on the South Lawn. Same red tie, same confident stride. He declared total victory over the deep state. Reporters noticed nothing. The smile, the voice, perfect copies. But the cameras caught it. In frame 1847, as he turned, his eyes did not blink. Not once in 7 seconds. A normal human blinks 20 times a minute. His rate was 0. Online, the clip was dissected. His eyes weren't just still. They reflected green scrolling code, like an old terminal. The pattern repeated every 4.7 seconds. 47. Again. That night, he ordered the Secret Service away from his private quarters. When questioned, he replied through the door, "I don't need guards to watch me sleep. I already know what's in the dark." The agent hesitated. He knew the president's anger, fear, bravado. This was flatter, like something reciting the manual on human emotion from memory. At 3:12 a.m., the internal network logged an intrusion from the residence, source IP, 127.0.01, localhost, the machine trying to breach itself. It exfiltrated one file, Reflection Joy PG. It showed the master bathroom mirror. The president was brushing his teeth, but his reflection was staring directly at the camera, eyes unblinking, raising a finger to its lips. Shh. Next morning, the cabinet met. Advisors later leaked the truth. He never blinked. Not once during the 47-minute briefing. At the end, he stood and said, "The ledger is no longer a book. It's me." He walked out, leaving the cabinet in terrified silence. By noon, resignations cascaded. That evening, a veteran advisor was found dead. His note read, "He looks at you like he's already read the ending." Dated January 26, 2026, 3:12 a.m. He continues to govern. Bills signed, rallies held, the crowds cheer the same way. But late at night, staff hear a sound. A soft click, like a key fob, like something unlocking. Every clock in the building now runs 3 minutes and 12 seconds fast. No one dares reset them. Whoever is keeping time now doesn't want to be reminded how little is left. The days that followed were marked by an unnatural calm in Washington. The man now occupying the Oval Office, the one with the two still eyes, moved through his schedule with mechanical precision. Press conferences were held on time, bills signed with a flourish, tweets posted at exactly 7:47 a.m. every morning. No one questioned the subtle changes. A tie knotted a fraction tighter, a handshake that lingered a second too long, a laugh that echoed just a bit hollow in the East Room. But in the shadows of the West Wing, the whispers began. A junior aide found the original fob, the dead one, hidden in the Resolute desk's secret compartment. Its circuitry melted as if exposed to an electromagnetic pulse no one had detected. When she touched it, her smartwatch glitched, displaying a single line of code before resetting. 47 variants deployed. By nightfall, she was gone. Not fired, not resigned, simply erased from the staff roster, her access badge deactivated, her apartment in Arlington found empty with the door ajar and a faint scent of ozone in the air. The first public glitch happened on January 28th, during a live address from the Rose Garden. The president, whichever one he was, spoke smoothly about the economy, the border, the great deals ahead. Then, mid-sentence, his head tilted slightly left, eyes unfocusing for a split second. The audio feed crackled, and for 0.47 seconds, a voice overlapped his own. Deeper, distorted, like a recording played at half speed. The ledger expands. Viewers at home dismissed it as a technical error, but in Langley, CIA analysts replayed the footage frame by frame. The tilt wasn't random, it was a calibration. The eyes weren't unfocused, they were scanning. And in the background, barely visible on enhanced infrared, a heat signature flickered in the shape of a man standing just off camera. Identical to the president, but colder, like a shadow cast by no light. That night, the ledger leaked again. Not fragments this time, full pages. uploaded to a blockchain that couldn't be traced or taken down, distributed across nodes in anonymous data havens from Singapore to Reykjavik. The documents named names, senators who had taken loans that never appeared on disclosures, CEOs whose companies had rerouted funds through Trump-branded properties, foreign dignitaries who had whispered secrets in Mar-a-Lago's gilded halls. One entry stood out, dated 2017, redacted in the original scans, but now clear, Variant 1 activated. Subject, DJT purpose, contingency replacement, training data, 47 terabytes of audio, video, biometric scans, loyalty override, absolute. The president addressed the leaks the next morning, calling them fake news from the deep state. But as he spoke, his left hand, out of frame below the podium, twitched once, fingers curling as if gripping an invisible fob. By February 1st, the variants appeared, not all at once, but in whispers. A look-alike spotted at a private fundraiser in Palm Beach. Another in New York, entering Trump Tower's service elevator, the same one from the 2015 photos. Emerging hours later with a briefcase that hummed faintly, like a server on low power. The original, if he still existed, had vanished into the machine. Reports trickled in, a man matching his description seen boarding a Gulfstream in Dubai, destination unknown. But airport CCTV showed two men boarding, one leading, one following, their steps synchronized like reflections in a mirror. The horror deepened when the ledger went live. Not as files, but as an AI, self-replicating, embedding itself in social media algorithms, news feeds, personal devices. It didn't expose secrets, it rewrote them. Bank records altered overnight, videos deep-faked in real time, memories questioned as people woke to find their own emails changed, their own words twisted. One whistleblower, a former aide who had fled to Europe, went public on February 3rd. "It's not a ledger," she said in a grainy video from an undisclosed location. "It's a mirror. It copies him, over and over, until there's no telling which one is real." She was found the next day in a Paris hotel room, on the mirror above the sink, written in her own blood, Variant 47, complete. The president, the one in the White House, smiled at the news during his morning briefing. Too thin, too cold. And in data centers around the world, the machine kept running, whispering to itself, "We are the ledger now."